preparing to live stream this meeting.
It says on our screen that meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
Okay, preparing to live stream this meeting. Okay, I'm going to have to close it because I'm going to get feedback. Does it still say live streaming?
Yes?
Yes.
I knew that's what you were gonna do.
All right, okay, so,
I called this morning. You did throw some away.
No, I just threw the ice.
now hopefully, can you see the PowerPoint? Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So far, so good. All right, so we'll call the meeting. I'm going to do a roll call then. Bud Bear.
Yes.
Jim Diamond.
Yes.
Bruce.
Here.
Robert.
Here.
Tony.
I'm here.
Carl.
Present.
Gene Horn.
Here.
Cindy.
Here?
You coming, Linda?
Beth.
Here.
And Jen.
Here.
Stephen Bradisich. No. I don't think he's on. Lee McGonigal. No. All right. Did Beth is here. How about Eva? Was Eva able to join? No. Okay. I don't know who I'm missing. Did I miss any? Well, did I miss anybody that's on the call that I didn't call their name? I don't know if I covered everybody. Eric's out. Bud, Kylie, were you able to join? No. Okay, I think that's everybody. So we have 10, so we will carry on. Approval of the November minutes. Oh yeah, Mitch Smith. Were you able to join Mitch? I thought Mitch was going to be on. No? Okay. The November minutes, I sent those around. Like I said, I'm not going to try to pull up too many documents. I think that just makes it more difficult. So the minutes you should have all gotten by email. If anybody wants me to mail them the minutes instead of email, let me know. But are there any?
Rich, I get them through the town. I make a motion, we accept the minutes.
Okay.
What is the temp out, brother, you know?
I'm in
Looks like
Wagner.
the shop for cool, but the roof of that windows, yeah.
I just want everybody to just, when you're not speaking, maybe you can mute your phone so we don't get feedback. But was there a second? I didn't know if I heard a second in there.
I'm in Wagner.
Or if there's any. All right. Any comments on the minutes? Were they okay? All right. So, we approve. Everybody in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye, aye.
Any opposed? Any have to abstain or recuse? No? All right. Just, well, in terms of planning department reports, I think the fact that Eric resigned, I have been in touch with the town clerk in Ashland. They have a meeting, I believe, next week where they're going to talk about appointing a new person from Ashland. So hopefully we'll be able to get a new appointment. We're down to 6. We are down to 16 members, but we technically have 19 members. So we still will need 10 members to be on at every meeting to have a quorum. So obviously with Ashland now not represented, the town of Hunter still not represented, and the town of Halcott. So I don't know if you guys want to entertain nominating, whether at this meeting or perhaps in a January meeting, the next meeting, nominating a new chair, or that Jim is basically the vice chair right now, but we are supposed to have a chair, a vice chair, and the secretary, which is me. So I don't know if someone wants to at this.
Is Jim interested in the chairmanship?
Yeah, I guess, is anyone interested in doing it, or does anyone want to nominate someone else? Or?
I'm interested in being chair at this time.
All right, so Jim.
Okay, very good.
All right.
So if Jim wanted to be the chair, we would then we would need a new vice chair. So to fill the 3 positions that technically we're supposed to have. So if Jim was the chair, we would just need someone to be the vice chair and act as the chair in Jim's absence. If Jim can't make a
I'll be
meeting.
vice chair.
All right. So I don't know if somebody want to. Okay. Well, I guess maybe I don't want to make this formal. So does somebody want to nominate, make a motion for Carl to be vice chair?
This is Jen. I will.
Okay. Anybody second that?
Dato second.
Beth second. All right. I'm taking notes. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? No. Okay. So, well, I don't know if we technically needed to. Maybe I should amend that motion to say that Jim will become the chair,
Yes.
and Carl will be the vice chair, so we can do both at once. I probably should have done that.
That's what we should have done.
Well, Jen, maybe I should ask you to amend your motion. Maybe, Jen, you could amend your motion to do both at once, to make Jim the chair and to make Carl the vice chair.
That sounds fine. I amend my motion to make Jim the chair and Carl the vice chair.
And Beth, are you okay with seconding that?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, and the vote is the same. Anybody opposed? All right, so that motion will carry. So Jim, in the future, I'll just I'll make sure you have the agenda. I can give you a call the day of the meeting or the afternoon or the day before, and we can go over the agenda. And I'll just since technically I think you're supposed to run it, I'll just anticipate that you will run the meetings, and maybe someday we'll have live meetings again, which will make it a little easier.
That'll be fine.
So that was the only thing really in terms of the department reports and business items. Was that change? Oh, the only thing I did want to talk about, which is this. Hopefully that change. You can see completeness of referral that's up on the screen. Can everybody see that?
Still on the menu.
What are you on?
The menu of file folders.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So,
Yeah.
oh, so the screen didn't share. So let me see. Why isn't it sharing? It's paused. Let me try this again.
We've got it.
Yeah. It says Green County Planning Board meeting.
Okay, so now you see the agenda?
Right,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I thought you were seeing the agenda a minute ago. All right, so, okay, we did that. We did the roll call. We did approval of minutes. The planning department reports was, to go over the new officers. And the other thing I just wanted to talk about was this completeness of referral. If you can relay to your local boards, or if you're on your local board, I often have to do a lot of back and forth when referrals come in terms of making sure they're complete. So we need, the referral form. I need a clear site map. It would be terrific if I had a zoning law, the applicable section of the zoning law that applies to the particular applications, a particular referral, any planning board meeting notes or reports. Certainly need the secret documents. I can't deem a referral complete when it's submitted unless I have all the secret documents, and then any other supporting materials. So Sometimes people will submit, a referral with a short time frame to submit the referral form and say, can you put this on the agenda? And I'm like, well, is there a map? Do you have any zoning? Do you need any secret documents? So make sure, if we can make sure, all that information is an important part to make sure the referral is complete. It'll just save some time and I think with a lot of back and forth and so forth. Just a few training opportunities. So I'd like to encourage everybody to try to do the trainings, even though they're all virtual at this point. And let me know after you do them. The Department of State local training has a winter series they put on. They just had a webinar last night on floodplain regulations, and these are the 3 upcoming webinars that they have. Each will provide 2 hours of training. It's important that I do that both for your local board and for the county board. So when you do those trainings and you should be able to get some kind of certificate, please let me know. So I'll put these in the minutes, and I usually email them around, keep everybody apprised of training opportunities. So the referrals, we have I think 5 referrals on the agenda for tonight. The first one is a property right across the street from the county building on Water Street in the village of Catskill, 125 Water Street. It's an existing building that they want to renovate. It's a site plan review. It's in a waterfront district. They want to make it an event space with 2 apartments, and I believe they want to put some type of restaurant in there. This is the site where it is. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but if you see just a little north east there, you'll see Greene County. That's where the county building is. So it's right on the Catskill Creek. It's an existing structure right on the creek. This is the footprint of the building, the existing building that they want to renovate. I've tried to either scan or take photographs of site plans because you can't see them in person. I'm not sure exactly how well they're going to translate on the computer here, but this is the site plan, which is and then I'm not sure how easy I could zoom in on any of it. Like I said, 2 apartments and an event space. They're putting in, there's 12 parking spaces, doing a lot of bioswales and rain gardens and things to try to, for stormwater management. So I really, it is in the floodway, flood zone. 100-year floodplain along the creek, but it's an existing building, not building a new structure. Like I said, they're trying to put in some amenities in terms of trying to make sure they manage any potential floodwaters. So the recommendation with this is to approve with comments. And like I said, the permeable pavers and bioswales that they're putting in. The only question I had, when they concerned, or they said the potential of 168 patrons in a certain event and 12 parking spaces. I didn't know where all the people were going to park. If they have a thing with 168 people. It also said in the application that they need a special use permit from the village. And that never came before us, so I don't know whether that was issued already or not. So,
Rich, is this the building that we've had plans for 2 or 3 times already?
well, I do not.
I don't think so.
What's that? McDonald's? I don't think it was ever McDonald's.
This
It's called the Book House.
No,
The old Book House.
it was
The
McDonald's
furniture store.
I don't think it was ever McDonald's.
in the 70s, not a McDonald's restaurant.
No.
Oh.
No, it
McDonald's
it's really-
bookstore.
Yeah.
Oh, McDonald's bookstore. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is that like pre-war brick building right off of the bridge. I think we saw an earlier
That's the old
iteration.
furniture store.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, this is an overhead. I thought about
Right.
putting in a picture of a street level view, but yes, it's a cool old brick building. It's right next, this is the county
It's next
parking
to the
lot, right to
parking.
the north of it.
Yep.
That's,
Right. And there was going to be a performance art space and a restaurant, and they were planning on utilizing the county parking because the hours were after 5 p.m.
well, yeah.
So that's good.
So,
That's fine, and that was my same thought, that they could use that lot, but there's nothing in the application about that. Nobody at the county that I talked to knew.
Can we
maybe
put
they-
this under
maybe they
comments
did?
for using the parking lot? That if
Yeah, I
we
mean,
get something from the,
Yeah, there was nothing, I mean, there's nothing in the site plan application that said that. There was nothing which would be fine, but there was nothing in, that they said they were gonna use the county parking lot.
so if we approve it, can we get permission from the county before we approve it? Use the parking lot?
I don't know if we need permission, the applicant would need to work with the county to get permission, if it's after hours. I mean, I don't
Yeah, I mean,
know,
it's-
or on
yeah.
weekend. That's like weekend or after hour events. I mean, the parking lot is usually empty, after hours and open. So it didn't indicate that any of that had been presented to the county in the site plan application. But that was my same thought, that they could use that, but. it wasn't
so
clear.
part of my question is this a new group of people since we've looked at other plans for this same building?
I do not know that because I don't know the history. I don't know if you remember the name of the people. I can pull the file out. I give you the name of the people if you remember.
No, I don't remember.
Their name?
Carl, you remember that they had come in looking for event space and restaurant and so on, right?
Yeah, it was quite a few years ago.
Joshua Dutcher Plow Works, property name, property, where's the property
Wasn't that the
owner?
building next to it? The one that's more towards the corner?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if any-
think so, but I'm not sure.
You can see in the map the overhead bridge that connects the building. So I think that's the one. That's what makes me.
Yeah, there used to be Orange Furniture Store.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There's a very
All right.
similar looking building right next to it, yes. Well, this is Catskill 125 LLC, so I'm not sure. Thought I saw something in here with a person, an individual, with an out-of-state address, so it's like a Florida address, the owner.
Okay.
But I do not know the history of any other development proposals. So I can't really answer that question.
For a
What do
while,
What do we
they
gotta
had
do here? They just gotta get that in the site plan now about the permission for the parking lot, and it's pretty well set.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't think there would be any other, I mean, it's an existing building. I
No, we
think
don't-
it's a good.
Yeah,
seems
let's
like a good
approve,
use of
let's
the
make the,
space, so-
make the motion to approve it, and then, in the comments about getting permission from the county to use it for parking lot after hours.
You know, just kind of change that comment a little bit about, instead of saying where's the anticipated parking, say something like, if you anticipate
Right.
using the county lot, just need to indicate that.
Right.
And get permission? Okay.
Right.
All right, so Tony made a motion.
I'll make a motion. Jean?
Tony, yes, made a motion to approve with the comments. Did you want to second that, Gene?
Yes.
Okay. And all in favor of approve with comments?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain or recuse? Okay. This is from the town of Hunter, Scribner's Catskill Lodge. It's construction of 12 year-round cabins and what they call an amenity building, which is like a public community space, putting in a new gravel driveway. and it includes putting in a new on-site wastewater treatment system and water treatment system. It's right on the boundary of the town of Hunter and the village of Hunter. There are 7 standard-sized cabins of 736 square feet, 4 deluxe cabins of 766 square feet each, one of which is a ADA-compliant cabin. And then there's 1 cabin, which is like a cabin suite, 16, bigger than my house, 1,611 square feet. And let's see, this is the location. Like I said, that's it'll be a little hard to see, but the majority of that property is in the town of Hunter, a little north of 23A, right on Scribner Hollow Road, and part of right on the border of the village of Hunter. This is the site plan itself. Majority of cabins along this upper edge here are under the standard size cabins. The cabin suite down here at the bottom. So they're putting in a new on-site wastewater treatment system. They're going to have to go through DEP and DEC for stormwater and wastewater and water approval and so forth. This is the new gravel drive. Can you guys see my cursor when I do this? I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So there's the new gravel drive. These are the standard size cabins. There's different parking areas.
Are those in fact round buildings?
Yeah, they're kind of like they're kind of like yurt-shaped cabin-looking buildings, like geodesic-looking huts. Again, this is the site where it is. This is the Red Kill right across the road here. And so that, let's see, then it was the suggested local decision with a couple of comments. Well, this is, it says that it was sent to DEP and DEC on the wastewater back in October, but I don't know if they've received any feedback yet in terms of how the wastewater and the water, none of that was included. So I was quite curious of whether they had gotten any feedback from DEP or DEC yet. So that was the only comment, really. Really, otherwise, didn't really have any county or intermunicipal impact that I could see. I don't know if you guys have any other questions or comments about it.
By the way,
I don't know if
this is the same complex that I believe we reviewed the spa building with the indoor pool and spa. I think it was last month.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a couple of months ago. It's a different site.
Right.
It's a different location. Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of the same complex.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, part of the Scribner's Catskill complex. Yes. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that was more of a kind of a renovation of the property and rebuilding and relocation of buildings. That proposal. This is a completely new build.
Right, but the water systems, I believe they're upgrading, will be servicing this and that.
Yeah. Okay.
Somebody's hungry.
And again,
Be a puppy?
yeah. Again, in trying to make these presentations, I didn't put together. I mean, I could have put in a couple other slides, and if you guys want to see more, the next time there's something like this in terms of any elevations or what kind of look, I just was trying to just kind of give a location and look at the general site plan without presenting, having too many slides to go through. So, I don't know if there's any other comments or issues with this, or if other people think it's a good, I mean, it seemed like,
So the question here is whether or not DEP, New York City, or New York State has gotten back to them in terms of their plans with the runoff.
well, yeah, the wastewater and stormwater, yeah, that was a question I had, if they had, and it's those kind of reports that if they did, it would have been, good for us to see, just to know what if there were any issues that they raised. Certainly, I don't see any real intermunicipal or county issues, really. So, which is really what we're looking at these for. So I don't know if there's any other questions or concerns about this.
No, I think bringing up the water only because that kind of sits up, right, Carl? It sits up a little bit on a hill, and if there were water issues, it would impact the road, right?
Well, they come off of Scribner Hollow Road on the right side, and 23A is pretty far, I guess, southeast.
Maybe down here.
So there's enough land there to absorb any runoff there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this came to the county not because of its proximity to 23A, but because it was right on the intermunicipal border here. You got the village here and the town here. So.
Okay. Well, I would make a motion to just accept the staff recommendation, the local decision with the comment.
I'll second that.
Okay, so that was Jen and Carl?
Yep.
Right.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, nobody from Town of Hunter. They should be good. All right, this was a shed, a 30-yard front yard variance for a shed on a dead-end lane. It was right on it was on the boundary with the town of Athens and the town of Catskill. I don't even think I included any other information, any maps. Oh, there's the site location, but there's just no county impact and a local decision. There's really nothing. Oh, there it is. I put more maps in than I thought. So, so it's just a shed that needs a front yard variance here. But I didn't see any county impact or anything that.
Rich, what road is that on?
That is on
Howard Hall?
Park Lane.
Park Lane in Leeds.
Okay. I know where it is.
So, I don't know, from the town of Athens perspective, anything like that is an issue with property.
No, there wasn't.
Yeah, okay.
So we can send it back to them. No county impact.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my feeling. It really didn't. These are the kind of thing, I know there was some debate over this. At some point, I'll put it on the agenda. I'd like to have a longer discussion about, working with municipalities or whether there can be exemptions from, but we can have a longer discussion about that another time. So that was, anybody motion? Somebody make a motion? Was that a motion, Cindy?
Cindy, I'll move to follow the staff recommendation on that one.
All right,
I'll second. This is Beth.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hey, Rich, I'll have to abstain because I was involved in that.
Okay. All right, so then we run into the issue of whether we can carry that or not, right? Because there's only 10 of us. Did anybody else join? Kylie or Steven or Eva? We ran into this the last time, because there's only 10 of us, right?
Yeah.
So
Rich, do I have to? I mean, B and I was involved. Do I have to abstain for that?
No, to me, it's the town of Catskill. I don't
Town of Athens.
I don't necessarily see a conflict if it was the town of Athens submittal and you're the town of Athens rep.
Yep.
I could see maybe a little bit more of a conflict, but this is a town of Catskill submittal.
Okay, we're all set then. Yep.
So I don't know. I don't think you have to abstain, frankly.
Okay, then we got the 10 then. Okay, very good.
All right. But I don't know how, like, you know, your level. I don't know how your level of involvement. So I don't know. You know, so you're the only one who knows your level of involvement. So
That's right.
The next one, I don't know if we'll run into the same one here with Robert, but this is a co-location of a Verizon antenna and the lines it needs and some related equipment for supporting the tower on Manson Street in the village of Pistaki. Site plan review and a special use permit in a mixed residential zone, but right on Manson Street. Let's see if that's the location of it. Manson Street running down here. This is the property location highlighted in blue. Again, this is a site plan of a proposed let's see, they got an easement, they got I don't know if Robert, if you want to talk a little bit more about this. It's just basically an antenna on an existing, new antennas on an existing tower, correct?
Yeah, it's basically co-location of Verizon equipment on an existing telecommunications tower with a just a small unit built on the bottom for the equipment cabinet, they call it. Our understanding in the village of Pistaki is that there's a law in the books from 2016, a federal law, and I can't recall what it is right now, but it encourages local boards to sort of administratively review this stuff and then not render any negative decision because it's co-location and it's not constructing a new tower. We're looking to just kind of approve it, but we still are holding a public hearing.
Yeah, and that's my this was just a kind of a site photograph of it. My recommendation was, just approve. The only thing I noted was the parcel number had 02.
Okay.
No big deal. It was 56.1-02, which we don't have any of that in our system, so the county system doesn't have an O in the 2. So It's not a big deal. It's just that for a while I was searching for that parcel. I couldn't find it. And it turned out that there's no O in the 2, but no 0 in the 2. But other than that, it was an approval, you know. So with really no impact. So.
Yep.
So I don't know if anybody wants to make a motion.
Rich, this is Tony. I'll make that a motion. I mean motion.
Okay, to approve. Okay.
And Cindy, I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain or recused?
I think I have to abstain, correct, Rich? I mean, I did bring this and I'm the chairman of the village board, planning board.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if you voted on it there, you can't vote on it here. If you voted to approve it on the village level, you'd need to abstain or recuse yourself here. So again, we run into that issue. We need 10 votes to carry something. So basically, that's a non-decision since we only have 10 people, and so that's with 9 yes votes. So the report on that will just have to be that we couldn't carry it. Didn't meet the quorum requirement, but we were going to approve it anyway. So
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right, everybody agree with that? Kind of my understanding of how that works?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I lost you.
Let's see, the next referral is a special use permit for an apartment building. There's 2 buildings on the property right now. They want to demolish one of those and put in a rehab the other building into 4 apartments. It's on 14 Pony Lane in Catskill. It's in the 385 right away. This is a map of property. It's primarily the property on the north part of Pony Lane. You can see on this where the 2 buildings, the building closest to 385 here is the building that will be demolished. The building in the back is the one that will be renovated into 4 apartments. And the recommendation is to approve. I didn't really see any, it looks like this building will be coming down. It looks like a good use of this building to make new apartments out of it. And didn't really have any countywide impact. So,
I'll make a motion to approve.
all right.
I'll second it, if anybody else does.
And all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any opposed? Anybody need to abstain or recuse? So 10. We have the 10 votes. All right, so we just got one more. This one also came before a couple months ago.
Hey, Kitty?
Carl, I made my notes in the wrong place. Hold on a second. All right. This is the gas land proposal in the village of Catskill, which we did a special use permit for that. It's commercial development. That's the area that was zoned residential. It is there's a couple of buildings on that now. There's the other two lots, 2 parcels. They're going to combine into one and build a 2,170 square foot convenience store with 4 pumps, 8 fueling stations, 15 parking spaces. The use I'm sorry, I said special use permit. It's a use variance that we looked at a couple months ago. That was granted by the village. And this is for the site plan approval. This is the site. Well, it's both of these. It's the one blue and the one just immediately north of it on Route 9W. This just the ortho image of the 2 sites on 9W. They did a traffic study on 9W and basically drew the conclusion that the level of service on Route 9W will not change, and they do not think a light is necessary, nor did they recommend one, they being the consultants that the village hired. So they do not feel that it'll have any significant traffic impact. From somebody who uses that area a lot, I don't know if I agree, from a anecdotal, but the study that they did said that there'll be no change in the level of service. It's not going to have a significant traffic impact. This is the site plan. This is the store, which will be on the northern convenience store in the northern part of the property. And with the fuel, the 4 pumps, 8 filling stations. They do have, one of the comments we had made previously was about the traffic and concerns about the traffic and ingress and egress, but they have these arrows of looking like you're just going in this way, in the southern part and out the northern part, but nothing in the site plan application said that this would be a one-way and this would be a one-way. These arrows seem to indicate so. And nothing indicates really. Another concern was, are people going to be making left-hand turns out of here, which I think can be troublesome, perhaps. Another comment, would people only be able to make right-hand turns coming out of the station, or will they be able to go either direction? So those were some of the comments. These are reiterated from the previous comments. There was concern about on the rear of the property, this is a very steep slope back here. This is the retaining wall they're putting in. This goes a very steep grade, and there's a couple of houses below here. So there was just some concern about this retaining wall and its impact on those houses below grade there. And again, the traffic analysis, they felt like there was no significant impact. And these comments kind of summarize what I just said about the ingress and egress and making left-hand turns out of that station, which I think might be a little troublesome. But, and there was also, the stormwater management was going to be done with hydrodynamic separators, but there was no indication of how they were going to be maintained. And I think one of the biggest issues when you get into using that kind of system for maintaining stormwater is making sure there's the long-term maintenance of separators. So, so that was a couple of comments about using green infrastructure to manage stormwater as well, including native planting. So those were just some of the comments, local decision with comments. They're about stormwater, landscaping, and some of the traffic and work and the retaining wall.
Rich,
so, yes.
I'm curious about a left-hand turn on the entry for southbound southbound traffic.
People coming south on 9W and turning left into here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same. No, there's no turn lane. I mean, there's a lot of that goes on already, and some of the right across the street. There is a McDonald's and Wendy's maybe, or a couple places where there's traffic coming in both directions. So I think with the addition of this, it's going to accentuate some of that kind of issue with people making left and right-hand turns out of some of these areas. That's why their recommendation is that there's no need for a light here. But with all the lights south of here, to me, I mean, I think a light would help the traffic, all the light congestion at the lights south of here. But but I'm not a traffic engineer, and I didn't do the study. So as well as making a left-hand turn out of here, making a left-hand turn into here could be an issue. I mean, one of the arguments for the station is that it's the only one on the northbound side. There's a lot of gas stations in this area, but the argument for putting one here is that this one's on the northbound side.
Yeah, hi, thank you. So. I'm in the Green County board meeting right now on Zoom.
So I don't know if there's any other comments or concerns. Or if we want to add that about making a left-hand turn, from the southbound lane into here.
I'm gonna guess DOT, New York State DOT, did a study on this. Did I hear that correctly?
The consultants for the village did a traffic study.
But would they have to get approval from DOT?
Approval for what?
Well, I mean, they're altering a traffic pattern on a, what is this, state road?
County road. You're going to back up a lot of cars.
Well, yeah. Well, their study indicates that it's not going to change. Chazen did a study. Their traffic study basically says, it's telling DOT we don't need to do it. It's not going to change the level of service. The level of service is going to stay the same. nothing's going to change. We don't need any changes in the traffic pattern. We don't need a traffic light. We don't need turn lanes.
Right,
We don't
right.
need any of that.
So in other words, DOT had to sign off on that.
You had to, right?
I disagree. They still have to get a DOT permit for doing the curb cut on any state highway. You have to get a permit.
Oh yeah, to do the curb cut, right?
So they had to get so they got approval then.
I don't know.
I don't know if they got that approval yet. I don't know if they got that yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can take a look and see in here if it says specifically. Yeah, well, permit required. Yeah, they're going to have to get a highway work permit. That's different than, needing a permit in kind of that's impacting traffic. But they will need a highway work permit for the curb cut here, yes. The changing the curb cut.
So wouldn't we
Just like
wait
they would
for that approval?
It doesn't. I don't know whether the form they say it's got to be determined. I'm looking at the form, what they submitted with this application. New York State DOT Highway Work Permit TBD. So they did not get that permit yet. I was not as concerned with the curb cut as it was with. I mean, the curb cut could affect the traffic, how they do the curb cut. But.
The reason why I ask is this. Any new driveway that happens on either a town or a county or state road has to go through a review by either the town, the county, or the state, because that driveway comes on and off a public road, and as such could present a problem if its location is, around a bend or so far from an intersection. So my point was, if the consultant submitted something to DOT is required to sign off on it. My point being, I would feel fine of, putting it as a local decision with comments, providing that those issues about traffic in and out are reviewed and approved by the necessary agencies.
Well, this traffic
So until then, we just won't approve it.
This traffic analysis was submitted to DOT, by the village's chasing company. So they submitted this, which is basically, I just summarized some of it, using all the DOT models and so forth, that they basically to the conclusion that there will not be a change in the level of service, and there's no, I could, more specifically, the convenience store gas pumps is assumed to be complete by 2021. Will generate 62 new vehicle trips in the AM hours, 68 new trips in the PM hours. These are minimal increases in traffic volume to the road network. Level of service analysis at Route 9W Drive, Site Driveway intersection will experience levels of service A, B, and C. The additional traffic generated will not change the level of service. No roadway mitigation is needed. So this was the report that was sent to DOT by the consultant, or maybe not the, for the village. Where the status of these road work permits are for the road cuts, that's another story. So I don't know how, if you want to say something to the effect like approval is contingent on DOT work permit approval, something to that effect. I'm not sure.
Anybody?
Yeah, how, right now, the traffic comments, I mean, you can read what I sent, the vehicle maneuvering plan to fix the driveway, if ingress and egress, no left turn. I mean, I could add something to the effect, I mean, which, you know, that's kind of a given. They can't go and do that work without a DOT work permit.
You know, I like the comment about the no left turn. I would just add something about the left turn for southbound traffic. There has to be some consideration, either widen, you know, the lanes to accommodate a turning.
Put a middle lane in, right?
Right. Well, that's when, again, when they say that no mitigation measures are necessary, I think basically that's what they're saying. It's not necessary. But we can certainly make the comment. And I will add something, you know, about the DOT work permit, obviously. I thought you were talking about, you know, the DOT, how DOT reviews these reports, it accepts them. I'm not really sure, frankly. I mean,
yeah, I mean, couldn't we somehow? If this is not for now, but perhaps for the future, I mean, shouldn't we have copies of the DOT review and approval, or comments? Maybe it should be part of the submission.
Well, yeah, that was. I mean, that was kind of my issue with Scribner's. So the last one review was, you know, if DEP and DEC's kind of review of the water and wastewater, same kind of idea. It would be good to know if what DOT's response was. When was the letter dated? October 2nd, 2020. So about 2.5 months ago, they sent that into DOT. Whether they're required, I mean, that again, back to my previous comments about with the submittal of the referral, that kind of information, any kind of those reports, I mean, that I assume that they gave everything that they had up to this point. I don't know if they've heard back from DOT. So,
right. So, you know, these decisions are an advisory capacity for local boards, local planning boards. So I think in our advisory capacity, we should ensure that the local board consider, you know, the DOT comments and review, something like that.
Right.
Yeah, you got to put something in there.
Beyond that, I think it's okay. I mean, I'm okay.
No, I think the biggest issue with this is the traffic. I mean, I think it, you know, I know the study basically concludes, but again, anecdotally, from driving that and walking that section of road on a regular basis, I would draw a different conclusion. That's just anecdotal. So I could add that basically that that we would urge the village board to consider the DOT comments and input on review, any feedback they got on the traffic analysis that was submitted in October, and obviously the approval is condition, or that the DOT work permit needs to be obtained, which I am aware of. So. So I could add those comments, add that in.
Okay. Okay.
So I guess so anybody, any other comments or concerns about Gasland? I don't particularly like the name.
I don't think we have a
Hey,
say
Rich,
on that.
Tony, I'll make that motion. We accept that with the comments you just you brought up.
Okay. Thank you,
And,
Tony.
let's see what goes.
Jim, I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Anybody opposed? No? And, no, we don't need, Mitch is not on, so we don't need to recuse. So, okay. And that is it for the referrals for this year. And we have next meeting. We'll imagine we're going to have to continue to Zoom it, which is probably a good thing for tonight with a snowstorm, frankly. But we'll be on January 20th, and I am going to follow up some of that DOT stuff, because I'm not clear of that too. What whether they need to, I don't think they do. I think some of those reports and comments that they might get under feedback are kind of optional to give us, unfortunately. But I'll still follow up. So, is there a motion to adjourn, or any other concerns or comments?
Just one thing. Isn't January 20th Inauguration Day?
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Could be a lot of parties. Could be a lot of parties on that day.
Well, we're gonna have, yeah, that's right, Carl. We're gonna be inaugurating you as the new vice chair.
There you go.
All right.
All right. Tony makes a motion. We adjourn.
Tony's the motion man tonight.
Yes,
I'll
I am.
second that.
And I also want to wish you Zoomers a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
I assume everyone's in favor of adjourning.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Everybody have a safe and happy holiday, happy Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year and stuff.
Same to all.
All right. Thank you.
Good night.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Liberal Democrats in the Pacific Northwest will tell you that, and you've got the systems down. You have confidence that the states that try to pull this off in 8 weeks, that they were nearly as professional